I
the
love it.
Packer-Bear rivalry, to me, it isn't about winning and losing. It's about the history. Like,
But hey, it is generational, right? Like I totally feel that on Twitter or social in general. Like you and I, we remember the fridge. We remember Walter Payton and sweetness and whatever. Like we remember the Bears beating up on the Packers
yes.
every freaking year. And then lo and behold, along comes Favre and Rodgers, and now we've turned the tide, and that's great. But I'll never forget that feeling. I'll never forget the Bears kicking our ass every freaking year. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, to the idea of like it's not a rivalry, it will always be a rivalry in my book for
Oh,
that
yeah.
reason alone.
The same thing like with the Cowboys in the 90s. Like, people talk
Yeah,
about, like,
I
you know,
hate the Cowboys. Hell,
yeah.
I hate the Cowboys more than I hate the Bears at this point
Yeah,
because of the
because,
way they
dude,
beat us up in the 90s. Of
and
course.
not only that, I remember them beating the Packers because that's just what it
It
was.
was
And the
always down in
Packers,
Dallas. It was
yeah,
awful.
and the Packers to get the Super Bowl, they didn't even beat the Cowboys.
Well,
They
Favre
had to,
tells that great story, right? Of he and Deanne watching the game between the Cowboys and the Panthers, and she's literally cheering for the Cowboys because she wants them to beat the Cowboys in Lambeau. And Brett's like, "You don't have to play them. What are you doing?" Like, I mean, I think every Packers fan was. I was living in Carolina at the time, and I remember thinking the Panthers are really going to do this. Like, I really wanted the Cowboys for that reason. But yeah, no, man. Like every year going down there, butting your head against the Cowboys. They were like the Celtics for the Bucks in the 80s.
yeah,
Remember the
yeah.
Bucks would always get to the playoffs and they would always lose to the Celtics in the Eastern Conference. Like that was the Cowboys. It was like inevitable. You'd meet the Cowboys and then they lose. And there was that horrible game where what's his name? One of the assistants like had his head's not cracked open, but like he like had a head injury because he got hit. There was a play on the sideline. The play had to stop for like 20 minutes or whatever. I mean, there were just so many horrible memories. Jurkovic getting hurt. I'll never forget him walking off the field, yelling at the Cowboys bench because he thought it was a dirty play. Like, there were so many bad memories down there. And I think that's why so many Packers fans wanted the Cowboys in Lambeau to exercise that demon. But you know what? Watching Brett and Reggie and company hoist the Lombardi,
Yeah.
that made it all okay. No doubt
Yeah,
about it.
I remember like a video as a kid during that whole thing because one of my friends was a Cowboys fan back then, and so
You had all sorts of friends with other
I did.
team
Yeah,
affiliations, man.
I used to sleep at this dude's house, and he was like had a Cowboys jersey, and he was all. I think I might have won money on him at some point when the Packers finally beat the Cowboys. It was like $5 because we were poor.
Right.
But
Right,
I
of course.
remember
You
the
were kids.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
I remember the Cowboys beating the Packers, and the press conferences afterwards, and they're like playing the Packers is like a practice, and like
Oh,
that like hurt my
God.
soul